Istanbul, Istanbul, we are coming. Istanbul, Istanbul, I pray. Istanbul, Istanbul, we are coming. We are coming at the end of May. Oh, get in. Hello guys, how are you? Welcome to the Citizen channel. Happy days. The morning after the night before. Didn't have to get up for work, so that was all right. That'll do for me. Yes, we're going to have a look back at a Champions League semi-final, second leg. There you go. Not many of them crop up, do they? Not like buses. You get two at once. Well, 2 in 5 years anyway. Manchester City versus P.S.G. City with a 2-1 lead from the first leg. 8 p.m. kickoff at a lovely spring-like Etihad Stadium. This is what we want. It was in doubt, this game, wasn't it, for a little while? Played on the 4th of May 2021. So, I don't need to say what happened, do I, really? Manchester City 2, PSG 0. So a nice little comfortable 4-1 win on aggregate, that'll do. We'll have our little match analysis. We'll have to be quick on this. There's lots of stuff to talk about today. I don't want to be on forever and bore you. Match stats, of course, with my ratings and Simon's ratings, and I'll throw Mr. Banerjee's ratings in as well. Mr. Banerjee was a happy lad. His ratings are quite high, but hey, tell you what, I felt a bit mean now with my ratings, but hey, we'll talk about that later. I will, of course, have the quirky stats, so record breakers, obviously a couple of those knocked in now for City, of course. And what are my thoughts on PSG and City after last night's game, right? So please, if you're new to this channel and enjoy it, please push that subscribe button. Tell your friends, your City supporting friends. We've climbed over 850 now. I'm trying to get to 1,000 at some stage, but obviously I was hoping by the end of the football season, but I looks as though I failed miserably on that one. Although the season is extending a little bit longer than I thought, so that's not too bad. But it'd be nice to get to 900 by the end of May. Anyway, if you can give us any help, guys, give other guys a push in my direction. I'll be very, very grateful. And if you like what you see, push that notification button. That'll be fantastic. And please, if you do want any friends or followers on Facebook and Twitter, please check me out on there. There's a couple of links on screen as well for that. So I do post loads of City stuff, humorous stuff at times, hopefully, some serious stuff, of course. But I always try and be funny, always try and be light with my little things. Too much miserableness in this world, isn't there? So please do that. You'll also see some stuff on my playlist for my film and TV channel as well. So if you want a rest from football, I'm not that bothered at the moment. I don't mind football at the moment, but we do sometimes, don't we? We need to switch off. Have a look at my film and TV channel. I do some reviews and information vlogs on there. So, or anyone else you know might be interested in that, please point them in my direction. I'll be very grateful. And all your comments are welcome. We have the live shows, of course. I'm on a Monday evening at 5 p.m. UK time, so join me for them. A few more last Monday, so that's great. More the merrier, and we talked everything PSG. So there may be the old ad hoc live show as well, but there normally would be in the afternoons, to be honest with you, if you can make it. But I can't do it. I've got that much work to do with my normal work, never mind City stuff and film stuff. But there will be the occasional one as the season draws to an end, I think. But certainly every Monday night we're going live anyway. So there you go. Right, let's get on with the game. Let's get on with it. The officials, the referee, Bjorn, I'm going to call him Kippers. I think that's better. I think it's Kuipers, all from the Netherlands, of course, these guys. Bjorn Kippers. I knew his brother, Sam Sardine. He was a nice guy. Lionel, Sander von Rokel and Erwin Zienstra. I went all posh then. The fourth official's from Greece. He's Anastasios Sidripoulos, something like that. Anyway, my apologies, Anastasios. VAR referee, he came into it last night, didn't he? He told the ref to get off his arse and check the screen. Paul van Boykel of the Netherlands. An assistant VAR, Dennis Higler, right, the starting lineup. 9 changes to the Palace game. I thought so. Ederson, Walker, Stones, Diaz, Zinchenko, Fernandino's the captain, legend. Gundogan, Bernardo, Mahrez, Foden, De Bruyne, sub Stefan Carson, Aki Sterling, Jesus, Aguero, Laporte, Rodrigo, Torres, Mendy and Cancelo. Cancelo, his brother. Lineup thoughts. How many did he get correct last night? Let me think. 11. Yeah, I picked 11. Me and Pep were like that. We're on the same wavelength. We've got no hair. We're just like that. We're just buddies. All right. We could probably pick 9 of them anyway. It wasn't rocket science, as I did put on Twitter. It wasn't rocket science to pick the team, but I think most people sort of didn't have Ferner in there, did they? How could they not have Ferner? 36 years old, spring chicken. How could you not have him in the team? So there you go. I've got 11 right. I'll be quite happy with that. So I won't be doing that. That won't be happening anytime soon. Perhaps for the final, I might get close again, because I think we've more or less know his team now, unless someone picks an injury up, unfortunately. Pre-match social media tour, not much actually. A couple of goals at Zinchenko. Couple of guys who I don't know who they are, so I won't quote them. But why is Zinchenko playing? He's an average player, but hey, there you go. So, but I think everyone was quite happy with that. So there we go. The match summation and stats. Of course, we'll go over to the goals to Mr. Phil Banerjee today. I've just read his match report before. Fantastic. Get onto Facebook, read Phil's match report. Absolutely superb stuff as usual. The first 45 minutes, P.S.G. as expected, started on the front foot, quickly adapted to our little spring weather, didn't they? They certainly did. They looked far better. I mean, you think we'd be better at it, wouldn't you? But no, they got used to that little white hail-coated pitch quite quickly, and as they had to, really. They had to get back in this game, didn't they? And they had early attempts by Neymar and Di Maria blocked. I think that's the story of the night, wasn't it? Blocked by City players all over the place. 7 minutes, the ref pointed to the penalty spot. What are you doing, Kippers? You bloody sold us like a kipper there, didn't you? Claims for a penalty. It's clearly off Zinchenko's shoulder. You can see it by his animation. Although with Zinchenko, you don't quite know, do you? You don't know if he's telling tales, because he's a bit of a wild card, as we'll discuss later on. But it was clearly off there, wasn't it? Off his shoulder blade. So. Obviously, Kipper was advised by his VAR guy to check the monitor, and quite rightly did a U-turn. So he actually did that after checking the monitor and cancelled out the penalty. So that was that was good. 11 minutes over to Phil. 11 minutes after a lot of PSG possession. Ederson's long kick found Zinchenko. Superbly timed run from Zinchenko, just inside his own half as that ball was hit. Cut the ball back for De Bruyne after his run, whose shot was blocked by Florenzi, and Mahrez followed in to finish from the angle with his right foot. It was a terrific clinical finish with his wrong foot by Mahrez, who showed greater awareness and speed than Kim Pembe to reach the ball first and leapt into the air like a salmon in celebration. You're nicking my sayings there, Phil. Stop it. I use the salmon bit. Don't ruin it for me. A Neymar free kick soon after was headed over by a leaping salmon Ferner. He didn't put. I put that. I didn't put that. I just thought I'd had it now. A leaping Ferner in the wall, so that was all right. I always worry a bit when Neymar gets a free kick, but he's a bit of a Mary Ellen anyway, isn't he? 17 minutes set. PSG hit the bar, don't they? Again, another leap like a salmon, wasn't it? A far post looping header from Marc. He was a threat all night in the air, wasn't he? I think we could sign it. What a player he is in the air. He's not too dirty, is he? How old is he? Can we sign him? Stones is well beaten. He probably used Stones as a leg up, actually. But Stones well beaten at the back. But we got away with that one anyway, didn't we? Because I think Ederson had no chance. He was nowhere near it. So again, the football gods were on our side. We'll talk about them later as well. 18 minutes Foden handball given, which wasn't. I mean, the fact he sort of... He made it a bit up more, didn't he? But it certainly hit him in the same way it Zinchenko, didn't it? In fact, it hit him more on the chest. But so Kippers again was a bit of an idiot. But obviously it wasn't a handball. But again, we got away with it, and the free kick not causing too many problems. 19 minutes, a quick Ederson throw out after he's lost. I sort of missed that. We missed that on the stream a little bit. I think the cameras missed it a little bit as well. It ended up with Di Maria having a sort of snapshot that was just wide of the back stanchion with the Ederson beat. That was a bit another let off. As I say, the footballing gods were on our side again last night a little bit. But I'm not particularly blaming Bernardo. I think Ederson's throw put him into a little bit of trouble, to be honest with you. But he perhaps should have just controlled it. But he tried to run away with it and he lost it. 30 minutes KDB had a shot well wide. 36 minutes long passage of PSG possession ended with a shot well over the bar by that ex-Rag Herrera, wasn't it? He was a pain and all, wasn't he, last night? Well, that's about it really. +3. Injury time, interesting. Don't usually give 3 minutes half time in Champions League games, do they? Very, very odd time adjustment there, even allowing for VAR. Into the last minute, we had a good chance for City as Stones won the ball. Mahrez shot saved Then Bernardo placed his shot was deflected over by that Kimpembe, wasn't it? So that was almost 2-0 at half-time. It would have been game over, wouldn't it? But we're happy with 1-0. And these are my half-time comments. This is exactly what I wrote, so I'm not doctored it in any way. 1-0, PSG so good in possession, but just lacking that final killer pass in the last third. And when they did, the City blocks were just there. Just keep playing tight, always potential to nick another, but we don't want to be pushed back too much this second half. Certainly not over yet. Hope PSG either run out of steam or begin to lose it, and that will help. There you go. So they, I think the lose it option came into it more, didn't it? And I think they did both, run out of steam and start to lose it. 54 minutes into the second half, first City chance for Foden's through, but he was offside, wasn't he? But it was well saved by Navas anyway. As in Paris, with a greener pitch, City began to be more possession orientated in this second half. Looked a lot better. Began to exploit the gaps in an increasing frustrated PSG team who sort of were pushing desperate for an equaliser, obviously. So that was bound to happen as long as we kept solid at the back. 55 minutes from another City half chance and a Foden shot saved from a quick break up the other end. Neymar had a shot blocked, didn't he? That was but it was Zinchenko got in the way of a Neymar goal-bound shot. And Stones and Diaz were showing sort of the chest, the bear hugs appreciation for that one. Fantastic block by Zinchenko. 61 minutes, City bodies are all over blocking as Diaz blocks another Herrera effort with his kahunas, I think. I think he just put it, but he didn't go down whinging about it. He just got on with it. Perhaps he had his cricket box on. I'm not too sure. 63 minutes. Yes, we go back over to Phil, don't we? A brilliant break in the 63rd minute gave City a second goal that made PSG's task even harder. Well, perhaps impossible. De Bruyne found the advancing Foden on the left. Foden bolted forward, exchanged passes with De Bruyne, just reached the return ball ahead of Florenzi and crossed, and Riyad Mahrez raced in to score at the far post. Oh, what joy it certainly was. 2-0 for City then on the night, 4-1 on aggregate. 69 minutes, yeah, Ferner does his fantastic, what a fantastic job he did last night. How he never got booked, I have no idea. He's such a cheeky chappy, isn't he? But he wound up Maria that much, or Dobby we'll call him. Dobby from, he looks a bit like Dobby, doesn't he, from Harry Potter. I used to have a picture of him in the United kit with a Dobby head on, but I've lost that. I've lost that somewhere. I was going to put a PSG kit on him, but I didn't have the time. I was a bit tired last night. Ferner winds up Di Maria, and and after initially having a little swing at Ferner, he then stamps on him, doesn't he? A clever thing to do, isn't it? There you go, and he's off, and there's no doubt about it. There was a VAR check again. Top-notch VAR last night. I'm not going to give the ref great marks, but the VAR was excellent last night, to be honest with you. So there you go. PSG were losing it all over the pitch by then. And then Zinchenko loses it. Absolutely, he's calm down, mate. Ferner didn't have to have a word, but he's still ranting and raving. All right, the guy rolled the ball bounced the ball off Foden's head, but it wasn't going to hurt him. He didn't do it very hard, but he was on the floor whilst being fouled again. But Zinchenko, mate, calm down. I don't think that's a good look, Zinchenko. We love you to bits, but just calm down, especially in gets to a final. We can't have that. We can't have that sort of attitude, mate. You just have to rein it in a little bit. Pep will have to get a grip of him, and Ferner will have to get a grip of him and show him how to do it the right way. 74 minutes. KDB was booked for a block. Yeah, probably worth a book in that one. 77 minutes. Foden was through from a KDB ball. A great little touch from Foden, put himself through, but his shot. Again, Foden does it all the time. Just that little thing, it just hit the outside of the post. These goals would be replayed for years if they went in, but obviously they didn't go in, so they're not going to be replayed for years. 78 minutes, KDB pulls a shot wide. 80 minutes, a tamer Foden effort was saved. 82 minutes, KDB off Jesus on. I don't know what Jesus had done to PSG, but we'll talk about that in a minute. He took a bit of stick. Bernardo off, Sterling on. 85 minutes, Aguero got a chance to come on, Foden off. Did he touch the ball? I'm not too sure. 86 minutes, Sterling breaks and falls over his own feet. I thought that was quite funny. He just couldn't keep his balance. 89 minutes as the tackle's flying. Neymar does his dying duck as Walker catches him a little bit, but that's the first time I think because the pitch had warmed up a little bit by then, so he decided to do his dying duck bit, but the ref didn't want to know anyway. Another PSG player was booked when it should have been a red. Danilo and Kimpembe were the culprits. Were very lucky to stay on the pitch. They both had awful tackles on poor Jesus. Fortunately, Jesus is nimble enough to get out of the way sometimes, but shocking. PSG should have finished the game with a maximum of 8 players on that pitch. They were absolutely awful. And 2 minutes injury time, yeah, Neymar got an... I did have 2-1 down as my score prediction, so I wouldn't have minded if the Neymar goal had gone in. That's how it gets, isn't it, in the 2nd minute of injury time? I mean, it's all over anyway, but a pitiful Neymar free kick well over the bar. So there you go, full time, 2-0, 4-1 on aggregate. Yeah, ref watch, I'm not going to mark him again. I thought the VAR was excellent. I thought the VARs was fantastic last night. Did what it had to do, I think, last night. Although, no, having said that, I don't know why I've said that, because why wasn't it picking up on those leg-breaking fouls late on? And Jesus, surely there should have been there's certainly a couple of out-of-control tackles there that I'm sure VAR should have informed the referee. The referee did a yellow, so obviously he has an option of changing that to a red. So am I right in that? I think I'm right in that. So yes, VAR was rubbish as well. So forget what I just said. And Mr. Kippers, well, what can you say? I mean, I think he was singing City songs at one stage. He seemed to be giving us a lot, and then it sort of went the other way. It's just some weird referee. I mean, at least in the Premier League, they're just bad. I mean, in the Champions League, you think, oh, that's a bit of good referee in that. And the next minute, they do something absolutely nonsensical. I just don't understand it. So I'm not going to mark him. I won't mark him particularly, but weird. But I'll have it. I'll take it. I think he's slightly favoured us anyway. So I'll have that, even as I said, the VAR was perfect in one instance, but not so perfect in another. It's just the inconsistencies, isn't it? Match stats, shots 12 by City, 14 by PSG. Yeah, we're going to be behind a lot of these actually today, so it doesn't always matter, does it? On target, City had 5 on target. PSG didn't manage a single shot on target, I've got there. Yeah, I mean, that's the stats. I can't particularly remember. They did have shots on target, but obviously they were blocked, weren't they? And that doesn't count, does it? Possession, 44% for City. How low was that? Passes, 469 for City, 580 for PSG. They outpassed us. Completion, whoa, 87% for City, 91% for PSG. I've never seen that in my life, that a team's beat us on passes completed. Unbelievable. Corners 6 each, at least we drew on that. Fouls, we did more fouls as well. I find that very hard to believe, but there you go. 15 fouls by us, 12 by PSG. So stats don't mean anything, do they? At the end of the day, it's getting that ball in the old onion bag, isn't it? Yeah, player ratings, here we go. My starting score has to be a 7. I thought it was a fun. Before I go into this, I thought City were brilliant last night, but I thought we did struggle a lot of that first half and bits of the second half. So I'm not going to go mad with my scores. A lot of people say, I'm going to read Phil Banerjee's out at the end of this, and he's, the sort of really up there. And I don't think, even though it's a great team display, I'm not going to sort of have my rose-tinted glasses on here. I thought, as I say, I'm not giving anyone less than a 7. That's my starting score. But there was a lot of improvement can be made. But I say, the fact we weren't brilliant didn't stop us working hard, and that's all matters in the end. If it's not quite working, as long as you 110%, 100%. I know you can't be 110%, can you? It doesn't matter. Anyway, that's my little proviso. And we'll start with Simon Bajkowski's thoughts, and then I'll just add mine at the end. Edison, an assured presence in goal all night, handled well in difficult conditions, but his biggest contribution was the booming pass to Zinchenko. It was that helped create the first goal. Let's give him a 7. You say Simon's a bit like me, say it could be mean, but I'll give him a 7.5. I'll give him an extra half a point. As I say, there was a kick out and a throw out that sort of we lost, and we ended up being under pressure again from PSG. But apart from that, as I say, he was excellent. So I'll give him a 7.5. Walker saw off the threat of Di Maria in the first half and was a composed defensive presence all night, even if he was overshadowed by his colleagues. Yeah, well, obviously a lot of the action was down the middle, wasn't it? But he's given him a 7, Simon. I give him a 7.5. He never another top quality professional old head performance from Walker, I think. Stones defended with maturity and composure against Neymar, and there can be no bigger praise than that. Another excellent night and a season full of them. He's given him a 9. Simon's given him a 9. I've given him an 8.5. Yeah, I mean, that's high for me, don't forget. I'm not overly over the top on score, so 8.5 from me. Body on the line all the time, superb. What a leader he is alongside this other guy we're going to talk about now, Diaz. An absolute warrior and leader of this defence, produced several excellent blocks and forced Icardi out of the game. Yeah, was he playing? If he felt he was a magnet to the ball at times, yeah, so he Simon's give him a 9. I'm going to give him an 8.5, the same as Diaz. Absolute rocks, them two guys at the back. Zinchenko won the battle to start ahead of Cancelo and vindicated that decision with a fine display. He did. Good defensively and a fine contribution for the opening goal. Let's give him an 8. Yeah, I'll give him an 8. I'll let him off with that display of frustration and anger. But yeah, just rein it in, mate, a little bit. I'll give him an 8 as well. I thought it was excellent last night. Fern, a surprise starter, not to me, on his 36th birthday, and his experience when City were under pressure was vital. Tried to help double up on Neymar. He's given him a 7. I thought it's got to be worth an 8 at least. I mean, that's a bit. I think. I know I'm mean, but I think Simon's been a bit mean with some of these as well. Although he's scored higher than me on some of them. But 7 for Fernandinho. Got to be an 8, hasn't he? Happy birthday, mate. Gundogan used the ball well, tried to offer a route out P.S.G press, which was energetic in the first half. Yeah, he struggled a bit last night. Doesn't like it when it's not his sort of team to play, I don't think, to be honest with you. Certainly that role he's playing anyway, or what Pep's asking him to play back there. Simon's given him a 7. I've given him a 7 as well, because I thought he was just about one of our weaker players on the night, but he never stopped, and that's all that matters. KDB, excellent link up with Foden for City's second goal, it was, but missed a couple of opportunities to set the Blues on a counter in the first half. Yeah, he wasn't great. I thought it was poor in the first half. I don't think anything came off, but he kept going. That's all that matters. Simon's given him a 7. I'm not going to give him any less than 7. But a better second half. But I thought he was pretty poor in the first, to be honest with you. Mahrez scored 3 of City's 4 goals in his time, took his 2 at the Etihad very well. A real threat all night. And he's given him an 8 at Mahrez. I've given him another 8.5, so level with Diaz and Stones. 2 great goals and a nuisance. And he had to be there to score him, didn't he? And I say, he used his dodgy foot as well. What more can we ask? Foden got better and better as the game went on. A quiet start. Yeah, I think that was everyone in the first half. But some stunning skill brought him to life. Fine assist for Mahrez, and lucky not to score himself. He's given him an 8, Simon. I'll give him an 8. Always a threat. Some great touches. Unlucky not to score, but he's just growing into this. Some of those shots that blocked or at the post will start going in, and everyone will be comparing him not just to Iniesta. They'll be starting to compare him to Messi, won't they? Let's be honest about it. Bernardo took up some clever positions to try and drag the PSG defence out of position. Yeah, a good, okay, solid display by Bernardo. Nothing fantastic, but again, like the rest of the team, he's worked his socks off. So Simon's given him a 7. I'll give him a 7. No marks for the subs. They're all on too late. Jesus, Sterling, Aguero. And Phil Banerjee scores. Here you go. This is just to finish off. Edison 9. Yeah, fair enough. Walker 9. Stones 10. Diaz. He's not got a score against Diaz here. Diaz has got to be a 10 then, surely, if he gives Stones a 10. Diaz 10. Zinchenko 9. Bernardo 8. Fernandinho 10, Gundogan 7, oh poor Gundo, Mahrez 10, De Bruyne at 9, Foden 10. Well, there you go. Fantastic. The emotions have really gone there with Phil Banerjee. Oh, thanks for that, mate. Anyway, and thanks for the goal reports, etc. before. So please check out his Facebook match reports on Phil Banerjee. Citizen man of the match. Yeah. I feel a bit mean now. I should have given a treble one off, but I thought I'd give it Diaz and Stones, and I've done my graphic, and I thought, but Mahrez was up there. I mean, he scored as high as those two guys, and perhaps I should have had a triple man of the match, but I can't be silly, can I? So I'll just give it Stones and Diaz. But yeah, Mahrez needs an honourable mention. Absolutely fantastic. But Stones and Diaz were rocks at the back, and they inspired everyone around them. I think this is it. They made people like Zinchenko and Bernardo, and even Mahrez put his balls on the line for City, didn't they? I mean, that's just the inspiration we need, and it's fantastic. So I will give it those two, but as I say, Mahrez is very, very close behind. Quirky stats up to Joe. Riyad Mahrez is only second player to score in both legs of a Champions League semi-final for an English club after Sadio Mane in 2017-18. Phil Foden is the 6th different Premier League player to record double figures for both goals, 14, and assists 10 in all competitions this season, and the only Manchester City player to do so this term. City are the 9th different English team to reach the European Cup Champions League final, 3 more than any other nation, Germany and Italy 6. Manchester City have won their last 7 UEFA Champions League matches, the longest ever winning run by an English team in European Cup Champions League history. Record breakers! Manchester City are the first English side to win 11 games in a single European Cup Champions League campaign. Record breakers! Mauricio Pochettino has lost more games against Pep than he has against any other manager in his career, 12. Pep's total of 12 wins versus Poch is his joint most against a manager in his career as a top-flight boss, level with Pellegrini and Dyche. That's an interesting one. Werner, 36 years, 36 is a joint oldest outfield player to win a UEFA Champions League game on their birthday, alongside Bayer Leverkusen's Ulf Kirsten on December 2001. That's a nice quirky stat, isn't it? Stat City. Riyad Mahrez has now scored 38 goals for City in all competitions, the same amount that Dennis Law netted for the club. There you go, and he had 2 goals to Tit Law, didn't he? City have now scored 24 goals in this season's Champions League campaign. Only in one other season have they scored more goals in the competition, 2018-19 with 30. No other player scored more goals in the Champions League for Manchester City this season than Riyad Mahrez. Ferran Torres also 4. City have kept 8 clean sheets in this season's Champions League. That's double the amount of their previous best in a single season, 2017-18 with 4. Conclusions, right, there we go. PSG. Right. Yeah, they played some good stuff in that first half. I mean, considering the conditions, they adapted really well. And if they had a little bit of lady luck at Zeta, they might have got a goal or 2. You don't know, do you? But unfortunately, as they were staring defeat in the face and things got a bit panicky, they stopped playing football and were pretty disgraceful. I mean, Pochettino's he's only been there, 3 months? January, February, March, April, May? 4 months. But, you know, is he bigger than the players at this club? I mean, I think they have a lot of arrogant individuals there who think there's something special, and it rubs off onto this sort of petulance and nastiness that they show on the pitch. He's got a pretty tough job there to get his... Because as a manager, does he want that sort of person in his team? Has he got any option? That's the problem. Is he just a figurehead then? Or does he just become a figurehead if he's going to have to put up with that? Because he needs to sort that team out. To be honest with you. And all I can say after that, I hope Lille, who are currently top with a point better than PSG with 3 games left, I just hope Lille hang on and win that title and PSG don't win anything. So I'd rather Lille finish in front of that rival. As I say, I was very, very impressed with PSG in that first half. I thought they played really well. City, not at our best, had to pull out a few blocks all over the place and keep going and obviously see it through at some stages of that first half. But for that second half display, absolutely shocking. To actually finish with 10 men on the pitch, he should have finished with at least 8 or 7 on the pitch, in my opinion. I thought they were absolute disgrace to football, to be honest, with that second half. And it's such a shame because they do have such talented players. But Poch needs to sort it out, I think. City, well, on to City, yeah. Again, I dare say, there was not... Players, it wasn't quite coming off. How can you say anything in those conditions last night? I mean, they were terrible conditions, but they were both the same for both teams. I think the half of the pitch that City were actually attacking was a little bit worse because it took a bit longer to go green than the other half of the pitch, didn't it? By the second half, it was fine. Both halves of the pitch were okay, but if you noticed, it did take a little bit longer. So I think it was a bit harder for the City players. But we weren't always performing at our best that first half. But what we do is work, isn't it? We don't give up on anything. We don't work. All right. Even if we went a goal down, I'm sure we would have kept working just as hard. And we took that hard work into the second half. I say we're 1-0 up, fantastic. That's what we needed. And wanted that first goal. Psychologically, that's what we needed as well. But we took that hard work into the second half. And as the pitch got better, we got better. And we worked even harder. And obviously, as PSG did sort of attack, and if you like, tried to get that goal, obviously we exploited the gaps, which we're very, very good at. And our quality players at doing that came to the fore. The defence was immense, yes, all right. If you get a block in, the ball could go anywhere. It could deflect into the goal. It could deflect to another PSG player or whatever, but you've got to get those blocks in. It's always been a problem for City, I think. When we play other teams, we always see that, don't we? And I always say when we're on the attack, if you get your shots in, there's a block, get men in the box, because if you've got men in the box, you've got a chance to pick them up. But obviously City are getting men back now. We're getting men back in numbers as well, and we're more organised. And I thought our defence, with the help of the midfield and even the attackers at time was immense. So we got a bit of luck, but we earned that luck. I think as in Paris, we got a little bit of luck there. Both goals had elements of luck to them, but you have to earn that luck sometimes. And I've always, you call United a lucky team, for instance. Like this season they've been losing games, but you make your own luck in this game, and obviously sometimes sometimes it doesn't work, does it? But if you work hard, there's a fair chance that you'll get the rub of the green and you'll get the bounce of the ball, and that's what's happening at the moment for City. If passes are not quite coming off, at least we have the guts to carry on. If KDB does something that doesn't quite work, he'll do it again and it'll work the next time. Or if it doesn't work the next time, he'll try again. Same with Foden, same with all the players, Gundogan, etc. Mahrez is looking a vastly different player, playing more for the team now. So that's what it is. It's guts and energy when the skill isn't quite working, and we know eventually it will pay off because it always will. Most of this team, I think, can perform better as well. I think we can go up a gear. That's great news because obviously it's going to be either Chelsea or Madrid, isn't it, at the end of May in Istanbul. If it does go ahead, we don't know yet, do we? But certainly if it's Chelsea, why don't we have it in England? But it doesn't work like that, does it, unfortunately? But we can be confident that neither Chelsea or Madrid are going to... they're going to be more worried about us, let's be honest about it. I mean, Pep has showed that he can respect the opposition, which he did last night, but we can fine-tune our natural game to adapt to that as well. We can put our balls on the line when we need to. There's no way City of previous seasons would have got through this semi-final, not Cat in Hell's chance. We wouldn't have got through it. This team is a team. Pep's work is paying off. I like many, I never said I wanted Pep out, but I did doubt him at the start of the season where we were going, but obviously there was reasons for that. But this team, like the team last night, we motored through those sort of iffy times, didn't we? We motored through it, and now the players are psychologically flying. Let's face it, they are psychologically flying. Let's not forget all the skill in the world doesn't always win titles. You always need a little piece of luck as well, but that little block to go your way, that deflection to go in your favour. Certainly the footballing gods, I think, have been with us these last couple of games against P.S.G. But I'm sure they might be with us for one more effort in 3.5 weeks' time. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? But I say, if you work hard, then obviously perhaps he will be with us. But we can't take anything for granted. But it would be nice, wouldn't it, if the footballing gods just shine on us just one more time, please, and as I say, reward all our work and effort, which I think the players are totally deserve because they've really put it in, and Pep himself, even after so much trouble early in the season, and even now I'll say, if he makes too many changes, I'll pick on him. But fantastic stuff. Right, there you go. There's a league title to win now, isn't there? So let's soak it in, Blues. Let's just enjoy it. And that's me finished. Look out, please, for the next couple of days. I'll be doing a little special book review on this, What It Is to Be a Blue by Bill Cronshaw. There'll be a little special book club review on that. So I think that's coming out tomorrow as I'm recording this. So that's out on Thursday after we beat P.S.G on the Wednesday. So sorry, Tuesday. Beat P.S.G, so this will be out on the Wednesday. So keep your eyes out for that. Right, there you go. Check out all my other stuff. As I said, please, if you can, get your mates to subscribe to this channel. Let's try and get me up to 900 at least before the end of the season. That'll be fantastic. We've got some great games and some great nights to come up, haven't we? And looking forward to it. I'm so happy. Istanbul, Istanbul, but I don't run down the wing. Anyway, you know what I mean. I'm not going to get all... Well, I am giddy, but there you go. Anyway, over half an hour. Sorry, lad. Sorry about that. I just enjoyed this so much. Whatever you're going to do the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other till we meet here again, hopefully very soon on the Citizen channel. You have a look at my film and TV channel. All I ever say to you is stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.